Y'all, I want to give a tour of my Aero Garden, which I love so much. This is my ground zero. All my plants that I've gotten started here, and I've slowly started to go outside with them. So I just want to kind of give you a little tour of the Aero Garden. All right, now it's a lot right now, and I have not trimmed. So I'm just letting you know that right now. So I'm going to actually show you guys how I trim my stuff in my Aero Garden. Now this is a thing. This is scallion. Look how thick this root is. It's awesome. So when I'm ready for my scallion, I'll cut it when I need it. But if I don't need it, as you see, these are getting way too long. I cut them like every Saturday. So I pick a day that I come in to do it. So today's my Saturday. Okay. Same thing here. This is basil. I'm going to be cutting them whether I need to eat them or not. And there's a couple things when I cut them. What I do with them is I dry them. I get them so I can ground them and put them in butter, and then I could basically make little butter cubes with this basil butter. So it smells so good and it's so delicious. So I have many different ways that I've used this. I've used this fresh, and I've made basil scampi with shrimp and pasta, and sometimes I use a spaghetti squash because we're trying not to eat carbs, and so basil is really a good thing here. And of course, this mint is is going crazy. So we like to get rid of some of these flower pods here. But I'm going to trim all this up. And again, we're going to take the mint and put it on the side. Great for mojitos. All right. And then this is some thyme, or thyme, some people call it, depending on where you're from. And so this, I just like to shape it up a little bit as well. Now, I do have some little guys that's these pods been in here for a long time, and they're not really growing. I know why. It's because it's a little bit overcrowded in here, but they're still sitting there. Some curly parsley over here, and that's a little baby chives right there. I'm not really fans of them, so they're not growing. It's okay. All right, so I don't mind. And the parsley never made it, so, but it's okay. These are my favorites that are here, and so I'll show you how to trim them. All right, guys, so here is the basil. We'll start there first. All right, so with the basil, as you notice, my light is at the top part as it can be right now. You want to try not to let it get this bad. I did this for purposes because I want to show you guys. You see right there? That is from the heat, okay? That's it hitting the lamp. That's just getting too much direct heat. So if you start, when it comes to browning, if you start to see browning on your leaves like this, your light is too close to the vegetation, or you need to go ahead and start cutting them now. So I like, now especially, now I'm going to show you something. If you're going to replant this, I like to pick a spot that is right down to the base here so that the other plants can continue to grow. So I'm going to show you a nice spot that I like. And again, I'm not a professional gardener or anything, so, but I like to take this spot like about right here. I cut it. This can be replanted, okay? I like to dip it in some water first, let it make sure it's nicely hydrated before I stick it into the ground, okay? So this gives me right there, okay? I can replant this if I want more, and just cutting it smells so good, okay? So again, just want to take these spots and you want to cut them. And the purpose is, again, I'm going to be taking some of this and drying them, making basil butter. I like to take the ones with the flowers off because that changes the taste. So you want to make sure those got to go bye-bye. Okay. So again, just keep clipping. I'm going to get to a point where you're not going to see any more in the camera, because that's exactly where I would want it to be. I'm getting all the pieces that are dry, that are cut. Okay, show you another side view here. Okay, so as you see, anything that I don't want it going into a particular direction, I go and I cut right down by the base here. Okay. Because I don't want it going all over here. I don't want it going into this thyme, so I have no problems cutting off a big stalk because I don't want it overshadowing the other plants. I promise you, even though he looks a little skinny right now, this plant will grow back with vengeance. By next week, I'm probably going to be cutting again. But this is how I like it to be nicely shaped. And again, anything that is approaching over to the other sections, I like to kind of clean it up. So that looks good. I'm going to leave that because I don't mind that going up some. So you're looking at the direction you want it to go. I especially like to make sure this section here is just clean off. There's no branches. I'm looking for branches that are pointing into that direction. I'm looking for branches that are pointing to this direction. Okay. Naturally, naturally it's going to want to everything is going to try to go towards the sun. So all these plants, you're going to notice they're going to start to curve in. Okay. So just to show you, that's my basil haul right here. Okay. So all you're going to do with this is basically take off the basils, just pop them off. And if you're going to dry them, I like to put it on for about the lowest setting you can have, 250 degrees, about an hour or less sometimes, like 45 minutes. You really just got to check it and it'll dry it up. And let me show you what it looks like when it's done. So I'll do another episode on drying these and creating different ways to store your basil. All right, here's my thyme. Sorry, here's my scallion. So as you can see these other ones where I've cut. So this is pretty fair and easy. Okay. Had I need this for a recipe, I'd have just came here, cut it, and ready to go. So this one is really easy. Just cut. And now I have a couple pieces, long pieces. So I'll put this and store this in like a Ziploc bag. Chances are I'm going to use this fairly quickly, probably tonight, tomorrow anyway. So, and they're ready to go. To use these, I just take the ends like this and I cut them. And that's how they're supposed to look. Love these scissors. Guys, if you don't have cooking scissors like this, it's the best. All right, so then the little pieces in that goes in everything. Eggs, name it, it goes in it. All right, so I'm going to finish cutting and getting these guys down some. Even these sad ones are ready to go. So you might as well just cut them and use them. And don't mind me, I'm using my right hand here and trying to hold the camera at the same time. Cut that one. Okay, so here we go. And that's my scallion haul. So that's looking great. All right, so we'll go ahead and do this small one here. This is easy. This is thyme. Thyme, we just kind of, again, when you're ready to use it, use it. It will curl in. So that one's, there's no rhyme or reason on how to do it. You just kind of cut it so at least you're shaping the way you want it to be. I like to have like a little kind of ball here. So I cut off what I need. And the rest, see, it's not a lot to cut for this one because I like it right about there. And now the mint. Dun, dun, dun. All right, first person up there coming off is going to be this guy because, again, flowers will change the taste. So I'm going to go ahead and cut mint. Now, mint is just like the basil. If you want to plant the mint, you just find a nice spot again. Right under, I love to do it where I see a branching because at least that means I can cut it and the leaves underneath it can still continue to grow, and then I will be able to plant this one. So I don't like going so far out like this, but literally if you cut about right here, you can then plant this guy right in water, right in dirt, it will grow. Okay, so it's very easy. So mint, all my mint stuff is basically, I'll give you another angle of it. It is stretching towards the light, so lots of it. So I'm going to go ahead and prune this up. Hope you guys can see here. So I'm just basically going to, a lot of this has gone way out. So I'm going to just cut. Now, I like to look what I'm cutting at. So I like to cut in between the branches. So I'm going to go ahead and cut here. And I'm just basically cutting the edges. And you see, these are all trying to go towards the light. We got to get this guy. He's got to go. He's not edible. He goes into the garbage pail. And I'm just going to basically cut around here. Again, in between. Okay. I want it to continue to grow. And he's doing really good. Mint is really, really good to make with tea. Again, mojitos all day long. One of these days I'll do a video on how I use my herbs to make some very, very, very exotic drinks, which are delicious. And that's just, I'm just taking all the dry ones out. Now this mint is always going to look full because mint grows, another one that grows like crazy, literally. So I'm just going to pop off all the ones that are kind of reaching over. Again, it's all about controlling the growth, right? So if it's growing into over where the other plants are and you don't want it to, cut those leaves lower. So I'm cutting them much lower. And when you do that, you're going to get a much bigger haul, of course. But I'm still leaving a lot to desire here, because we're going to need to save them for our other recipes. And mint, I dry them just like I do the basil. Or I make these mojito cubes. So stay tuned for that video. They're delicious. And so I think he's pretty good to go now. Okay. Let me just clean up this thyme a little bit more. All right, guys. So let me show you around the end. All right, guys. So this is the haul. We've got tons and tons of mint, which we'll do some good projects with that. We've got thyme, we've got scallion, and we've got our basil, and we've cleaned everybody up. So everybody looks nice and neat. And still, and I can go even further on this, but I'm not, because this next week I come back, this is going to be just as full. I mean, I never have to buy these items from the store ever again. And with these scallions, literally got it from the store. I like to get them organic, and I just stuck them in there. That's it. And all I did was take the pod cover off, and that was it. All right, guys. So that is my Aero Garden haul. If you have any questions, post below. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button. And if you guys have any other questions or other videos you want to see, thanks for watching.